Good morning, friends. In many cases it is good afternoon and good evening as well. She'll do some painting today. And we shall paint this thing. Hello there, champion. Oh, look, it goes very well. It's been a wonderful, wonderful week. I may need to grab out a soldier actually now that I think of it. My Natalia model arrived. G'day, Ulcan. Cool name. I use a variety of paints, mate. In this instance here, I've got about 3 different paints in the palette. This is Chimera. These are Vallejo. This is a Nocturna colour, and this is actually a AK. So there you go, four paints that I've grabbed out in this instance. And no, it's not a 3D print. This is a figure that I purchased. Okay, Kung Fu. Okay, Global INGS, Magnurus, it's happening. Indeed, purple is a very fun colour to paint. Hey, well done, mate. It's an achievement. It's all super irrelevant, but if it's something that you're proud of, then you should indeed be thrilled about that occurring. G'day, Paint Liquor and Neshland. Hey, Vids. Can you grab out my model from the cabinet? It's on the top shelf.
That really narrows it down.
You'll know which one. It's the new one that you haven't seen yet. Do you like it?
Yeah.
I bought this the other day, friends. I won't go into too much detail today, but I did talk a lot about it on last stream about why I bought it, what I liked about it, what was impressive, and so on and so forth. So you can go and watch that stream. Good, interesting colour palette, clever use of texture down here on the base. A lot of areas where there's actually been fuck all painting done. It is Natalia's, yeah. Which again is sort of something I like, because you don't need to have every area be painted to the same standards, but yeah, she's quite sublime, and I'm thrilled that she's mine. Hey buddy. We got a little Hugo here today as well. It really is outrageously cool, I'll tell you that for a fact. Where is this colour? This colour? This colour. Alright. So we just want to have an interesting base colour. For my rocks. Most of you know I love painting rocks. This is the chick that's going on top of this, by the way. Well, I'm glad you feel that way because I'm going to paint her soon. I would have said the same about Pizarski's version actually, but yeah, there's always room for new interpretations, my friend. Yeah. Yeah, the new Innes, he's a freak, eh? Like, because it just dead set looks like gold. Without any, if you were just scrolling through Facebook and you didn't know what you were looking at, you could have thought, oh yeah, it's cool armour. He's a Fruit Loop. I love him. Love, love, love him. Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at some of his other works, skin tone is like it's sort of less impressive. Still awesome, of course, but less impressive than the medals. And it's almost like a conscious choice that he's made to just be like, here's my medal. Here's nothing that's going to distract you from it, ever. But yeah, I reckon he's up there, improving on every figure, just like all of us. So I bought the videos that he did for Chimera on painting Abel, the little bust that's got the non-metallic metal, and yeah, his approach to skin tone is interesting. A lot of airbrush, surprisingly small amounts of brush, which reinforces your feeling of it being more like a render. So my plan when I put together this base, honestly, I had no idea what to do with this. Hey Wampa. Like this whole thing, it's just a ball. I didn't really have a plan. And so I stuck the ball to the base, and then I thought, oh, maybe it'd be cool if it was like, if this thing was like a swirling, if this thing was like a floating thing that was hovering above a swirling lake or something like that. So I just decided we'd do this as water down the bottom and see how we went with that approach. So we're painting this as water. We're definitely going to do a lot of laser gloss varnish over this thing down the bottom. But yeah, we haven't really got an approach on this yet. Other than make it look like water. We may actually skew it more towards green. In fact, I'm going to grab pastel green now just in case. G'day, Space Toy. Awesome, mate. I enjoyed the latest piece you're working on, Space Toy, the chick in the gold armour. Looked very good. So I think that's the hope for all of us, that we just do it better next time. No, this is just this one figure, my friend. This is just these two put together, that's all. Nothing special. We do have plans for a couple of new dioramas, but they're a little way off yet. So yeah, probably the next month or two, I won't be doing any major projects, as I'll be focusing on preparing for the new painting competition I'm running at CanCon called Crimson Brush. I advertised it on my socials last night. But yeah, we've got a lot of Kickstarters arriving early next year, which were plans for big projects, the Chimera and Aradia Ultima Thule, which will be a big project, and then the Scale 75, which will be a big project, and then the Neko Galaxy floating sci-fi city, which will be a big project. Yeah, I've sort of moved into this as my niche, bigger type diorama style projects. It's not really not really a great niche to be in, is it? Doing massive projects, but yeah. I do feel like I miss out. But that's a sacrifice that you make, to try and make the hobby community whatever better. Yeah, because if everyone was just felt that way, then there would be no painting competitions. Because everyone would just be like waiting for someone else to do it. I'm in the fortunate position that I've been able to travel overseas to compete in Monty SMC. There's a small competition that I can enter in Queensland Model Hobby Expo in Brisbane. So whilst Crystal Dragon and hopefully Crimson Brush, which occupy the same time slot, are probably recognised as Australia's premier competition, and I don't get to compete against Dave and so on. Yeah, I think I don't really feel like I miss out on that front. Yeah, it'd be nice to compete in the event that is sort of synonymous with Australian painting, but it's part and parcel of what happens building a community, I guess. Someone has to step up and do it. Which isn't to say that other people haven't done that, The event, the time slot exists because of Meg turning around and going, "Hey, let's do this." Look, I'm very fortunate that it's sliding in to replace Crystal Dragon with no sinister stuff behind that. We've just decided to move Crystal Dragon to later on in the year, and we wanted to have an event at CanCon, and so it's going to be as successful as Crystal Dragon. I have very little doubt of that, purely because of the time slot, and that people have already that association of CanCon with a big painting competition for Australia, so it'll be successful. Insofar as things are successful in Australia, 150 entries is what we've capped out at. So if we can get to 100 this year with the short lead time and the COVID only sort of still just being finished. Thanks, mate. I will be completely egotistical and agree with you. much as I would be happy to pay for your flights, mate, yeah, little Hugo, buddy, I don't even know that Australia is open to visitors from overseas yet, so I feel like that's not happening. It is.
Just north of Brisbane. You can fly into Sydney.
Canberra?
I don't think Canberra has international flights at this time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they opened up international flights just before COVID.
No, as in they don't even count.
Oh, right, yep,
But Sydney and Melbourne you can fly into, and Adelaide, I think.
right. Well, international flights apparently are available. If you want to come in, you're welcome.
Have to quarantine though.
You have to quarantine. You'd have to be pretty fucking keen to quarantine for 2 weeks to enter a painting competition, I'll tell you that. The issue with our painting competitions, and this is an issue that we face with a lot of events, hobbies and so on, is the population density. So you go to Europe and you look at how many people exist every square kilometre, it's, I don't know, quite high. I'm sure you can use Google and determine that. Ours is two people per square kilometre. It's just not a lot. And of course most people are in the capital cities. But even with that, g'day Emma Louise 7838. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, in the past it's just hard to get people to travel. You know, this event, hey kid, this event's become pretty popular and well known, and so we're able to get a lot of people flying and travelling to it. But even then, it's not it's not a massive community. There's definitely display painters out there, but yeah, not as many as you'd think in Australia. So I think we had 51 entrants the last year I ran it. We had 150 entries. Yeah. It's massive. So even though that's most people are in the capital cities, it's still a hugely spread population. No, I've been started watching Titans season 3 and The Wheel of Time, but I am going to watch Arcane. I've made the decision. So. How long does it take to drive from one side of the USA to the other? Out of interest, Wampa. You telling, kiddo? driving from Cape York, which is the most northern point of Queensland, to Perth, which is the most western point of Western Australia, would take 59 hours. It's 5,000 kilometres. I don't know how many miles that is. And you would spend the majority of that time driving through absolute nothingness. And that, I feel, is the difference to other places. Surprisingly, Australian schooling doesn't really focus on how big America is, so I don't really have much of a gauge. Brisbane's awesome. Come to Brisbane, I love it here. It's my favourite place in the world. I literally would not want to win anywhere else, live anywhere else. What? You talking to me, Dork? My girlfriend doesn't like it because it's hot. She hates it every year from about November to February. She's like, Brisbane sucks.
I'm not alone in that.
But then the rest of the time, she's like, Brisbane's the best. The old Ford BA, eh? Classic. I'm actually planning on driving to CanCon this year from Brisbane, so that's about a 13-hour drive. So that should be fun. Normally I fly, but this year I'm thinking about driving. Friend Koki and I are planning on doing a road trip. Never done it before. Thought it'd be fun. Just the two of us. Yeah. Well, I've driven when I went overseas with my mum and dad, girlfriend, sister, niece, and brother-in-law, which happened in 2013, I think. Whatever year it was. It was a while ago anyway. We drove from Salzburg in Austria to Berlin. And that took us an entire day. We left at 5 a.m. Got there at 9 o'clock at night or something. So, we'll probably do it in one day. Get up. We're both used to getting up pretty early for work, so we'll probably just get up at 6, hit the road. A couple of stops on the way for lunch. And we'll probably get there 10 o'clock, something like that. the Austria to Germany drive was awesome, absolutely awesome. We stopped on the side of the road, so I could see snow for the first time. Pulled over and I was playing with snow. It was awesome. Yeah, Brisbane's a nice area. Like, I've done a lot of driving around Brisbane, obviously. That's where I live. But yeah, it is a really nice, like, countryside, particularly, yeah, through the Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast area. It actually up to Toowoomba's awesome. Yeah, neither had I, mate. I'd never seen it, so we're driving through snow and I was like, holy shit. We pulled over. It was awesome. Well, Kung Fu, I won't be taking any dioramas because I don't have any. They're all gone. It's only 6 weeks away as well. Plus, why would I be taking them? I'm judging the competition, mate. Yeah, some places in Oz. Tasmania gets it, and in Hobart gets a bit of snow. Yeah, Victoria. A couple of hills in New South Wales. But definitely not in Brisbane. We're actually lucky if it gets cold. Particularly last year, I think the middle of winter, it was about, I don't know, 15 degrees. Yeah, so I'll just do a quick plug for the painting competition for anyone that's in Australia and isn't already following. Crimson Brush. Here is some social media pages you can follow. If you if you were to go and search for Crimson Brush on Google, it doesn't come up at the moment. But that's okay, it will do. What does come up is the actual reason why we named it Crimson Brush. It's a bottle brush, which is a very Australian plant. And it was actually the inspiration for the name. I think called a bottle brush. Feel free to follow that page, friends. If you're in Australia, hopefully you can come along. If you're not in Australia, we'll have all of the pictures of all of the entries up on the weekend. It's also on an Instagram page as well. So. No. It is indeed Thanatos, yes. this element, it is being done Euro style, yes. So everyone that gets a gold gets a gold. Which sounds dumb, but I'm sure you know what I mean. So yeah, that's a decision that's pretty easy for me. First, second, third, like in back in the old days, a Golden Demon. I mean, it creates a very competitive vibe. You know, people don't want to share techniques, don't want to share their works that they're working on for the event, anything like that, because they want to keep the surprise. Whereas the European competition style, the open system, it's very much about you can enter as many pieces as you want, and those pieces that qualify for gold get gold. And that, but the benefit of that is it just changes the perspective of the community. It's no longer about competing against each other, in a sense. You're just competing against yourself and your quality of work, and yeah, so that is the preferred method. Encourages people on the weekend. Yeah, so that's good. Well, we have a medal called the Trent Dennison Award for most entries, which is a hotly contested prize. And we have the judges best in show, and then people's choice best in show. So good on you, champion. Thank you. Well, in previous years when I've judged, and I will acknowledge that I am a judge with somewhat limited experience, I've only judged a couple of painting competitions. The method that we go through is we grab out all of the figures that we think are excellent and medal worthy, and then we look at the best of those figures and we decide which one of those is the baseline for the gold standard for the event. And once we've established that, we just judge each one against which one's gold and which one's silver and which one's bronze, and that's that. You don't have to apologise for asking questions, mate. So that bar will usually change throughout the process as pieces that are close, we make arguments for why this one should be or why this one shouldn't be. And my plan at this stage is to have that judging process be done on stream, live. I won't be fielding questions, but I will be doing it live on this channel. So once you've done that with the gold, you then do the same thing with the silvers, where you go, this is our baseline for silver. These ones are all gold, so they're ignored. What is the bottom? Silver. And then for bronze, . Come on, boy, you can get up. It's warm greys. Warm greys. And I chose warm greys because the colour palette is very warm up the top. Warm golds, warm skin tone, and then we go down towards colder colours down the bottom. So you tell them, kiddo. Hey, what are you doing? You. Hey. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. What's that about, hey? Come on. Buff, buff. 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 Go on, buddy. What a dork. What an absolute dork he is. Just decided someone was there. Sorry, friends. He's a little baby boy. Gets scared by everything because he's a chihuahua. You finished, buddy? let's do just a smidge of airbrushing here on this base. Feel like that will help the overall smoothness and effect. What are you doing, bud? You don't like this airbrush sound, do you?
Hey, Faye, you yesterday.
Well, what?
Faye, you English class today.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't love the sounds of, he particularly doesn't like the mixer. He's gotten used to the airbrush sound, but yeah, he's still a little dickhead. The paint mixer. Can't you, buddy? Yeah. Trimmed out for what? Yeah, I've done that. Hugo's not sure what to do with that. He's a good little kid, but yeah, he just gets scared. Doesn't know what to do. G'day, Captain Carp. Thank you, mate. We are going all right so far. But we're not at the crunch point yet. Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody's got a body like you. Well, I gotta think twice before you put my heart away. I know not all the games you play, 'cause I play them too. But when I need some time off that emotion, try to pick my heart back on the floor. You gotta have faith. I gotta have faith, baby. Yes, I am. Someone asked me to show how I clean my airbrush on stream, so I am finished for the moment, but I'm going to show that now. So normally what I do first is I use airbrush cleaner. So there's normally paint in here, so I put a little bit of airbrush cleaner in there, and then I will grab this, which is a synthetic brush, and I will push this synthetic brush in and around, just trying to clear off any dried paint that may be on there. And then I'm going to try and angle this away. Then I use a technique called backflow, which is where you cover over the front of the cup, put your air on, and the air's actually on here, but you can't hear it because the air is stopped from coming out. So you then pull back the nozzle somewhat, and it forces the paint, thinner, cleaner, water back through the brush, and it bubbles up out of the cup. So this actually forces any paint that may be still in the tip out. Now I do this much quicker. I'm normally like, yep, boom, 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 and at full speed, and that dries out all the paint. Then I do the same thing with the water. And that's it. So I do that between pretty much every colour, unless I'm trying to mix the colours together. And that's that. If I need to, I usually just leave it where it is. But yeah, sometimes I should and I don't. But it's usually okay. What colour for these skulls? Yeah, I think we will go this green colour actually. Yeah, look, airbrush maintenance, important part of owning an airbrush. Also a part that I don't really take that seriously because, as you just saw then, my cleaning process is relatively thorough, but every now and then I need to do a full disassemble and clean, and every now and then I buy a new airbrush because it just stops working the way it's supposed to. I'm sure if I was better at maintaining my airbrush or better at understanding what was happening, I wouldn't need to do that. But I also haven't bought a new airbrush in about 2 years, so maybe I'm getting better at it. Almost finished season 5 of Schitt's Creek. Topless. I'm enjoying it a lot. Very good show. Very amusing. G'day MK Finder, we're doing well, mate. Yeah, it's a good show. Like, you don't really need to say more than that. If you've watched it, you know. If you haven't, your loss. look, I agree with that statement. It isn't as impactful for me as Ted Lasso, but it's a good show, and definitely if you haven't watched it, it's worth watching. Some of the most impressive character development across several seasons in just about any show I think I've watched. This is the base for Thanatos MK Finder. So allow me to just grab the figure and show you. Yeah, base is coming along fine. So you may be wondering, why'd you do all that work, Deno, if you're just going to airbrush over it? Or you may be wondering, why did you airbrush if you're then just going to continually go over it? Well, the answer is because I can. Because why not? Actually, that's a good question, mate. I'm not sure about the background of the figure. The only Thanatos that I am aware of in my knowledge is Thanatos from the Secret of Mana game. But I do believe Thanatos was a god of someone. Yeah, calm down, eh? I couldn't tell you the specifics of Thanatos. There you go. Good one, Top. Just get on the Google there, or what? Zachary, I actually remembered your YouTube comment, and I showed that about 15 minutes ago. And thank you for watching on YouTube and commenting. All right. All right, dog?
Yeah.
You have another coffee?
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Got it.
Son of Nyx, brother of Hypnos. Cool. Hypnos is another name that I have a number of meanings for. This could be a warjack. Could be elves in War Machine. Alright, so I'm going to turn some of these... Initially my plan was gold for these elements that I'm painting now. But I have a concern that if we do that gold, there might just be a bit too much happening. You tired, buddy? Is that why you pissed on my clothes? See you, buddy. Oh, is it your birthday today? Holy shit, I didn't know. Happy birthday, Unexplained Miniatures. I don't pay much attention to the dirty paint and water in, mate, so I didn't know. But congratulations on being 40. Imagine being 40.
You don't have long to go.
Only got about a year and a bit.
Okay, do you want all my old crockery? You can have it actually.
Oh yeah?
All my cups and stuff.
Sure. Yeah, so was going to make this gold, was going to make these little elements gold, did all of this gold. Is that too much gold? Is it too much gold? We're better off going with like a bronze.
Do you want your peanut butter biscuit? Where is it?
Alright, let's try for a different gold. We'll start from a dark brown base. I am 38, turning 39 in about 4 months' time. Well, it's not fully cold colours. There's supposed to be some warmth in it, but yeah, it is. It is certainly colder. You giving him his biscuit?
Yeah, I bought him a peanut butter biscuit.
Yeah. Little buddy gets a biscuit. He's going to be unhappy when you leave.
Yeah, maybe
You could do that.
I want to get a barbecue chicken wing.
You could get a barbecue chicken on the way. Actually, I forgot. It's like 2 weeks before Christmas. I'm not driving anywhere near that place.
Yeah.
You need to walk. I don't know what I'm going to do when I turn 40. My girlfriend and I were talking about travelling overseas for my 40th and doing 40 activities or going overseas for 40 days, something like that. There's actually a lot of really cool mythology stuff done by Aradia Miniatures. They did a Kickstarter the other week, like 3 years ago, for all sorts of Greek gods and based on Dante's Inferno, Dante's poem. Anyway, oh look, mate, I would probably want to go to my favourite places in the world. So, Brisbane. My girlfriend thinks he's so funny. You're so funny, mate.
Italy.
Yeah, I'd want to go to Italy. Probably go back to Salzburg. Scotland. Where else is my favourite, bro? London. Harry Potter Studio Tour. CMK Finder. Warhammer World, yeah. Poland? I did like Poland, actually. We had a good time in Krakow. But we also went to a very small town called Zakopane, which was outside Krakow by about 3 hours, 2 hours. We got a massive Airbnb. So I went over to Poland for the War Machine World Team Championships, and we went over with an Australian team. There was 11 or 12 of us that travelled over for it. I think there was 10, but there might have been one who joined us for that trip. And we travelled together whenever we did everything together. It's pretty awesome. But we decided we'd spend a couple of days in this small town called Zakopane, so we hired out an Airbnb, and we all just went there. One of the guys played guitar. One of the other dudes, so he brought his guitar, and we had an evening of sitting around, drinking beverages, playing guitar, telling funny stories. It was very, very good. We did a quiz. We were split into 2 teams, so we split off and did a quiz. It was very, very fun. We had our competition between the 2 teams. We extended it out to everything. I'm gonna see if I can bring this up because it was outstanding. Oh yeah, we should do the Northern Lights. Norway.
Yeah, or Iceland.
Yeah.
My friend is in Iceland at the moment and it looks really awesome.
Mad. one thing that streaming regularly has done, given that I also upload to YouTube, is made it really fucking hard for me to access videos from a while ago. I have to scroll back through 8 fucking years of videos before I get to the stuff I want to show. Yes. I wonder if this works. If I turn this on. Here you go. This is Holy Grail. Outstanding. So this is our room in Krakow, and we were singing in a thing. Yeah, we had sit-ups, chin-up competitions, etc. But then we got into some cabs and went to Zakopane. I think yeah, I'll just post this video if you want to watch it. It's pretty boring. It was good fun.
Who won that chin-up?
Moopsie killed it. But the reason I wanted to show this off is this actual town was just beautiful. We had an air hockey competition. I carved up in air hockey. But it's this tiny little town of I don't know how many people, but it's fucking tiny. But it had like mountains behind it, huge mountains, and yeah, just the one street. It was awesome. We had a fantastic time. There you go. Enjoy that. I certainly did. Yeah, I've done video diaries for pretty much every one of my trips. I did two for Seattle. There you go. Yeah. It starts. Let me see. Yeah, so I did it was called a Doug's breakfast. It's a bit hard to explain, but yeah, it's a bit hard to explain. I did like 45 episodes for a Doug's breakfast, but only the last 7 or 8 of them were in Seattle, in America. What episode is that? That's 37, so 38. That was my theme song. Oh, there's actually a playlist for this actually. Sure, this is excellent. 30. That was 38. Where's 39? Fuck. Next page. Why weren't these uploaded in order? So we went into Seattle. Yeah, here you go. This is probably the only one that's actually got anything about Seattle. So we actually went into Seattle. We went to a restaurant in the middle of Seattle called something. It was wonderful. We went to the Space Needle. We went to those things that are on the water. Yeah. Anyway. If you go back far enough in my YouTube, you'll find all sorts of stuff. I did one in Germany for the Warhammer ETC. did a couple with my girlfriend when we went overseas. Alright, important question. Should we continue with this piece and try and finish it for tomorrow night on tomorrow night's Party Monday? Or should we crack out the Goblin from Lucas Pena and start the Goblin? So do I. I'm excited to paint that Goblin. I mean, the only stuff we've got left on this is the non-metallic metals on the base, a few other bits and pieces on this, and then the wings. The wings and the final bits and pieces on this. I don't know that the wings are going to be that interesting to watch, really. I don't really like feathers, but maybe we'll just finish her off. And we can start the Goblin on Wednesday. The following week I have my final stream for the year for Word Miniatures. And the week before Christmas. What'd you decide, Rocket? Shopping. Thank you, Noodle. Yeah, look, she came out alright so far. See your tops. She came out alright. I'm still haven't settled on the eyes yet. And you can actually see a lot of shininess on the skin, which is making the blending look a little bit less smooth, particularly around this area, because not a varnish yet. I haven't finished these little doobie whackers or this bit. Yeah, she came out okay so far. So and now that I know she's the goddess of death, I'm inclined to change that green into a black down the bottom. I think that'll make the rest of it more impactful as well. In fact, I have decided in my head right now that I am definitely doing that, so. What do you mean it's about time I finish something? I finished about fucking 7,000 projects this year. Can't finish those FER miniatures until I do the until I get the last piece. So. There'll be nothing left to plunder when we stumbled on the Holy Grail. We were full of beans, we would die like flies. Those big black birds, they were circling in the skies. And you know what they say, yeah, nobody deserves to die. Oh, I've been searching for an easy way to escape the cold light of day. that's awesome quote. Thus regarded merciless and indiscriminate, hated by and hateful towards mortals and gods alike. Good quote. I dig it. So I've always found painting skulls to be really interesting, but I've often found that the best skulls I've painted haven't been using the colours that you normally associate with painting skulls. Normally when I work in greys and greens, they come out way more interesting than if you use like ochres and that sort of stuff. They feel a lot more ancient. Sounds like it. Might have to go and do some research after I finish streaming. The other day I bought all of the stuff I need for soldering and wiring circuits and what have you, and I've been watching a lot of videos on how to do things, but I haven't actually attempted anything yet. I have a few more things coming that I ordered online that will be here later on in the month. So yeah, nothing progress-wise as yet. Will happen, but I think the project's probably not for several months. So there's no point rushing anything. I've printed some stuff out for it, but yeah, this is just the preparation stage. Sure I've got all of the things I need. Understand all the things I want to achieve. I need to do a lot more drawing bad pictures to try and figure out how all of the electrical circuits are going to wire together, what they're going to be powered by. Where the power is going to come from for all of them. So on and so forth. So it's going to be a long time before I'm ready to get started on that one. Hopefully it won't be too difficult. It'll be fun. part that's tripping me up at the moment is understanding how many like resistors I'll need, how much power. G'day Tommy Innit Feats. Tommy Innit's Feet 666. What an interesting name. How many resistors I'll need, how much power I'll need to sort the LEDs. But I bought some like some cosplay LEDs that people use frequently in cosplay, which you can program to like light on and off in various sequences. So my plan is to use those to have an interesting variety of patterns and colours coming through the city itself, like a rainbow of colours and what have you. But yeah, very preliminary stages right now. The other component to it is the mistake I made with Camelot was designing and building everything without having the figures. And when I got the figures, I felt like the piece was a little bit too big and didn't really have enough focus on the figures. There was too much empty space, vacant space, which got filled up with stuff that wasn't at the same standard as the figured painting. So I don't want to make that same mistake with the with dioramas in future. I want to ensure that the piece works much better as a whole, much better use of space. But I can only do that. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be. I'm sure it'll be pretty straightforward, but I like. Part of the reason I want to do projects like this is I like understanding, why is this working the way that it's working. Yeah, so I just want to make sure that when I build the city, the figures fit into it in a way that really strong composition. What's up, buddy? After we do the Goblin, I think I'll do the Pixie, now that I've got Natalia's version, so that'll probably take us through to Christmas actually, now that I think on it. Be my last project for the year. Wow. How exciting. It should be a fun experience, exercise. So latest episode of Wheel Time, let's talk about it. Probably one of my least favourite thus far. probably on par with the first episode, I think, which is my least favourite of the show to date. A few things for people who may not know, but the episode ends on a bit of a cliffhanger. A certain character not doing something that a lot of other characters do. Just in case you haven't watched it, I'm trying not to spoil it. But there is a reason why that happened, even though that is a contrary decision to the books, and it's related to there was a casting change that happened from season 1 to season 2, which was unexpected, and that casting change is the reason this situation occurred the way that it did. And it changes up what happens in the book. There were some wonderful moments and wonderful scenes in the latest episode. In particular, the cold open, I feel like, is actually one of the best in the season. And the introduction of a couple of a key character is really cool. But yeah, it just felt like there's been a lot of show and not a lot of stuff happening. And I felt like that episode was a prime example of very few things that actually drove the plot forward in a meaningful way. Just a lot of character stuff. I like the character stuff. I love the character stuff because I'm a book nuffy. But there needs to be a show to watch as well. Felt like that was the first episode in a while where it didn't really make a lot of sense. Why they spent an episode doing that. G'day, Rapid Transit. But yeah, we'll no doubt see some huge progress in the final 2 episodes if where they're going to end the. That's okay, mate. The Wheel of Time is the show that I'm talking about. Going to end it where they ended the book, or roughly along the same trajectory. It should be an action-packed final 2 episodes. Yeah. There's been a lot of people who watch the book, who've read the books, that are just absolutely blowing up the likes about the show. Just like, that's nothing like the books, you've ruined Robert Jordan's legacy, you've ruined everything, the books, why couldn't you just follow the books? You can't. You can't follow the books in the Wheel of Time. Don't be ridiculous. There's 14 fucking books, mate, and every one of them is like 1,000 pages. You just can't. Literally, it would be one of the worst shows on television if you were to do it that way. So they've made a lot of changes that, on reflection, I've really enjoyed. They've also made some changes that been like, interesting. I look forward to seeing how that plans out. Pans out. There has been very few that I've been like, wow, that sucks. I didn't like that. I don't actually know that there's been any. But I also like to look on the positive side of things, as you probably know. So I'm just happy there's a show that I get to watch based on my favourite book series. I'll tell you what, the Dresden Files may have overtaken it actually. It's my favourite book series. Depends how he closes it out. Oof. Which one? Which one of the many Dragonlance books though? Just the originals? I'd like to see the original Dragonlance books. It's been a long time since I've read them. I think I recall my favourite Dragonlance book series actually being not the original. I really liked the Test of the Twins, Time of the Twins, Something of the Twins, the Raceland and Caramon series. That was a better series. I felt like stronger writing. And then I also I remember the series that had Mina. I only read that one once. So I don't really recall too many of the details of that, but I actually remember thinking that was my favourite book series from Dragonlance. War of Souls, yeah. Yeah, I think that was my favourite one. My complaint about the first trilogy, and I guess it's not really a complaint, and it is a observation, is it very much felt like I was reading about a game of Dungeons and Dragons. And let's introduce this monster. You know, what decision would you like to make? Yes, mate, I'm aware of that fact, but it read like that. I have the same complaint about the first trilogy of R.A. Salvatore's book series with Drizzt. He turns that series into one of my favourite book series ever written after the first trilogy. The books that happen after that are, however, those initial books, like, I enjoy them, I read them, I like them, but they do feel like I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons as I'm reading. Now, come on now, Ghost Raven, come on. That series is just like reading a D&D game. It's not very good. You're like, wow, cool. One of my players has decided to play a fucking Dark Elf. Wow, awesome. What is the Dark Elf? He's a ranger. Wow. But he's a good guy. Makes total sense, man. Make it happen. Just... no. Stop it. But... when you go and read Homeland Exile Sojourn, the book's about that, is unreal. And the book's about what happens after the first trilogy, also really, really strong. Yeah. That's the first ones, right? The first three, about him growing up. They're awesome. Absolutely unreal. Sock shut. Hugo heard it. He's like, nah, I shan't be leaving my perch. Yeah, that was awesome. Really, really good series. I actually told Ben to read those books because I thought he'd like them, and he indeed did like them a lot. And he just finished the first in that series the other day, and he thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. Did that expression get started by a sliced bread company? Because when you think about it, right, sliced bread's not that big a deal. You can cut it with a knife. That's awesome. I really wish that I had a group that I could play D&D with and really like dive into it. We play board games every weekend. Yeah, that's awesome. We love it. But yeah, it'd be really cool to be able to make those stories. Yeah, we played some Roll20 during COVID with a couple of friends of mine, which was really awesome, and we had a lot of fun. But it's just hard to keep a group going. It's a thing, I think. We've got so many good games and so many things to do with our time these days, particularly some of those people who have kids. Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Wow, that is taking me back. I did actually have a pretty big collection of the old fighting fantasy books when I was a little tucker. Death Trap Dungeon was my favourite. They're a clever idea. That's awesome. Wow, that's really cool. Man, that is awesome. I don't recall ever having something that I was as passionate about as wanting to collect the whole thing, but Necromunda came very close one time. Very, very close, where I was like, this is it, this is me. I'm collecting Necromunda, that's what I do. That's who I am. Because Necromunda was the game that got me cracking back in the day. Yeah, I'm not enough of a role player to be like a snob when it comes to systems or programs. We just used Roll20 because it was easy, accessible, and everyone was just wanted to hang out and play some games. So I learned how to do some cool coding stuff on that too. I did little blasts and fireballs and stuff when I cast my spells. I was a cleric. Hey buddy, did you come to say hello? Oh, thanks. Do you want to say hello to everyone on the screen? Come here, buddy. Hey. Hey. You having fun today? Yeah, sniff this, kid. You're a good boy. Hey, here you go. Did you have a good day today? Off you go, kiddo. A little champion, yeah. This is a great. This whole thing's been awesome to paint, by the way. This whole a lot of really good textures and shapes. Really good practice for just volumes, materials. I subscribe to Roll20. I think I paid $5 a month. You get access to some stuff. You didn't need to. Like you could just, one person needed to subscribe, I think. To be able to use it. So I'm trying to skew this a little bit more towards yellow now, after doing mostly orange, because I wanted to try and feel a little bit like gold, but just a different colour gold. Yeah, it could have been, I suppose. You know, now that you say that, Goddess of Death, Rusty Steel, feels like it could be the right play. That's a good question. Very good question. I may need to add some of this onto this figure, just to incorporate the two colours together. But that could work. I could make these little flappy bits the orange colour. Let's do that. Spider-Man next week. Who's excited? I am. Especially after watching Shang-Chi. Or Shang-Chi. Tell him, buddy boy. Alright, let's harmonise this a bit. I'm sure many of my American friends have already watched it, but season 3 of Titans is good so far. It's only just come out in Australia. Yeah, it's good. Very good. Alright, I think what we'll do now is add some weathering to this. Actually, before I do that, I think I'm going to varnish it. There's a lot of contrast paints on here that is just turning everything a weird colour. Aha, Mini-Man, so what's doing? Thanks, mate. Come on, rude boy, you can beat it up. Alright, feel the rhythm, feel the ride. Come on, Jamaica, it's bobsled time. Cool runnings. Top of the morning to you, Jimbo Jones. Oh no, we've got to freeze. We've got to freeze. Boo. I'm about to do something cool, so I better unfreeze. Stand by. So now we're back from outer space. Just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. Should have made you change the key. Had known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Oh, now go. Walk out the door. And just turn around now. You're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with goodbyes? Did you think I'd crumble? You think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I. I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live. I got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. Hey, hey. Okay. Let's do a little bit of this stuff. Very, very diluted wash of an emerald green colour. I'm going to do some successive washes of this. We're not doing it all over, just doing it in certain areas. Oh, yeah, the Christmas stream should be very interesting. I feel like I'm going to be singing the entire time. A number of people have been saving up for it. What did I decide what day the Christmas stream was yet? One early Boxing Day, which is Christmas Day for many people. It's Boxing Day for us. to take a break for a little while. Lean into the crimson brush preparations. Of course, a big thanks to Stonebeard Jim, who is hosting the Crimson Brush on his website. What a bloke. One of the coolest things about me, mate, is I can do both. So there's a specific product that Games Workshop makes for this. It's called something verdigris. But I found I can achieve pretty much the same result, if not better, just by doing washes. So I did buy it to try. Sorry, friends. Little buddy, it's just some people outside. It's just some people outside. Just some people outside. Yeah, little dude. Being a funny boy today, aren't you, bud? Yeah. Well, I give this particular element, this particular piece of this figure to paint an 11 out of 10. Manoa the Wise, welcome. G'day. What a champion. Thanks for the raid. You're a superstar. Let's go have a look at what you were doing. Oh, awesome. Polish, is it? Is that Polish? Oh, you play all sorts of games. Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. Check. There you go. Yes, I'm painting this figure here. And it's a pretty elaborate figure. But if you haven't watched my streams before, here's a video of what I've done in the past. Well, thank you for the raid. I normally have mods around that don't do anything, and I normally have to do shout outs myself, but I actually haven't even set them up again yet. So, thank you. Yes, that was a big part of my plan for those particular models in that scene. We have them facing off with real magic, like Harry Potter. Thank you for the follow. Yep, so this piece is coming together pretty nicely. And for a complex figure, I think we've done all right. No, it's not. It's not D&D related. It's actually just a figure that a miniature sculptor released. It's quite a few display figure scale things that get released that go missing by a lot of people. Yeah, it's just it's actually called Thanatos, which we learned earlier in the stream is one of the Greek goddess of death. Which is cool. But yeah, that's about it. Not sure she's from any specific game, or I think she's just a creation from this sculptor's. The sculptor actually is Greek, for what it's worth. That's my little dog, little Hugo. Being a little pest, aren't you, buddy? Yeah. World's biggest dickhead. Alright, I'm just going to do a little bit more airbrushing of some contrast paint, and I think we'll call that bit done. And we might see about putting the two together and seeing how they look as a little... Hey kiddo! Hey, do you want to say hello, dear? Do you want to say hello? Come here, buddy. Hi everyone, I'm Hugo. Oh, my ear. Ooh. You're a good boy. Thanks for protecting me from all those people outside. Thanks, buddy. Bye. Funny boy. Funny boy. All right. Great. That helped significantly. I love it. Go Team Contrast Paint. You can do no wrong. Alright, let's zoom this out. Let's put her on top of it. absolutely going to change that green to black. That is completely unneeded. Those two colours are probably similar enough now that I don't need to do too much, but I might get some inks, rustify this up a bit maybe. Rastafarian. The wings, not sure what colour we're going to do them. Might even airbrush those a little bit and then use some contrast paints and see how we go. But yeah, I'm changing this to black, because this green is just not working with this blue. So cool. Thanks, Manoa the Wise. I appreciate that. Where the fuck did I stick this in? Like this? No. Yeah. I'm not sure. That'll do. Yep. Let's get out some black. It's a shame really because I've spent... Oh yeah, awesome. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. I spent a heap of time doing this green, getting to a point where I was like, yeah, that looks okay. I need to tweak it, but I was happy with what it was looking like. And now I'm just turning it into black. Boo. Did you decide yet, cuz?
I think I just might go over, but not to do my groceries. Just go to the bookshop.
Okay, cool.
I think I'll do my groceries after my walk this afternoon. Got somewhere.
It isn't that far to walk to the shoppos that you're going to get sunburn again, mate.
Why are you trying everything? Yeah, I might go over now. But I'm not getting groceries, I'll just go for a shop.
Alrighty. I'm very much unsure what colour to do this bit. But what I might do actually is use some of those skull colours on this area. That'll help tie those two bits together. Okay, let's do just zoom in a bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to dry this. So I might try and include some of the rusted metal or rusted gold colour that I did in that backdrop in some of these areas. Like here. This piece is actually coming together really better than I expected. After the first few sessions, I thought we were going to be in trouble. Yeah, no, the palette camera is frozen. I didn't bother restarting that. I doubt there are many people who are looking at my wet palette. And if you are desperately wanting to see it, let me know.
Want me to get you anything?
No, I'm good.
Just want to go see if I can get these books that I'm reading in hard copy.
Yeah.
Because it's like a workbook.
Mm.
And little mate, you want a biscuit?
Yeah, have a biscuit. Right. So let's mix up a highlight colour for this black.
Yeah, I don't think you need the whole thing.
Give me the whole thing anyway, Mum. I love biscuits.
My favourite.
Yeah.
You want that? It's peanut butter biscuit. For girls. Is it easier if I break it apart? Come here.
Ah, Balefire Forge. Thank you for the raid.
There you go. That's better, isn't it? It's easy.
Hello. Let me zoom out a little bit, mate, so you can see what I'm working on. Just this chick. I'm doing well. How are you doing? How was your stream? What did you stream today? See you soon, bro. Awesome. Was it miniature painting or something else? Did you finish your biscuit already, buddy? No, you're still going. Ah, cool. I am familiar with those figures. They are cool. Thanks, mate. This figure's got a lot of details, and I didn't really have a plan for some of the areas and the colours. It's only just starting to come together now, so. The base is helped inform some of these colour choices actually. So here's the base. So she's sort of floating. So yeah, we just need to incorporate some of this blue somewhere in the figure, which we will, but yeah. What I was finding was happening, I had this in teal and green and stuff. It was all a bit too much colour, so just bringing this back to a dark grey, neutral sort of grey, helping the figure. Isn't it, little man? Hey? My girlfriend's just gone for a walk across to the shops and the dog looks lost. He's like, looks like someone shot him, doesn't know what to do. Wandering around aimlessly. You gonna be okay, kiddo? Sorry, mate. Yeah, no, I have my microphone a fair way away from my head so that I don't get in the way of my little toy soldier painting, but it has the added downside of people not being able to hear me. It's a very interestingly shaped fabric actually, this one down here, very hard to get it right. Spent a long time on it with the green, so disappointing to be removing that and starting again. painting black, one of the hardest colours to paint. If not the hardest. Probably red and yellow. Red, yellow, purple are harder to get looking like red, yellow and purple without them looking like pink. Yellow's hard because it's hard to get a smooth colour. But black you get into trouble, it normally looks like grey. Yeah, I guess white's not one I've had a lot of difficulty with. It's just laborious. It's got to do lots and lots and lots and lots of layers of white, and then it usually looks okay. But I might do some little freehand spiral things on her. Or should we do something in Greek? Should we write death in Greek down there? That'd be cool. Alright. I think we will write something. Or to write. Or do we just do some swirlies? Just do some little swirly roos. I think we might just do some swirl patterns. The deaths feels a bit overt. I'm very, very known for my subtlety. Thank you, Topolus. I'm glad you enjoyed that. We'll do that in this colour. Are you firmly entrenched into this? That's where. There. see. Oh, just broke a feather. Alright. Longster on that one. Shocker. I would love to be very, very good at freehand. When I see some of the Russian artists and what they do with, you know, old school historical things, I just have no clue how they can do that. A lot of practice. Yeah, Julie Ware's the one that immediately jumped to mind, but a lot of historical painters can do that same level of detail. I wonder if it has to do with the medium that they use. And obviously there's a lot of technical skill, right? There's no doubt about that. Yeah. I feel like I've gotten better, but at the same time, not that much better. But I will say this, I know Australian conditions makes it significantly harder. The paint dries out on your tip so quickly. Got to love it, got to love it, got to love it. Got to love it. One day I will sit down at a project and I will decide this is the project where I do free hands like a boss. And I will practice them and I will go crazy and it will be wonderful. But it is not this project. But it is not this day. This day, we fight! Let's go, Aragorn. Thank you! Well, I'm sorry to say, friends, that we are drawing to a close on today's stream. I'm sure you've all been absolutely enraptured by my early morning ruminations on things that are of very little import. W40K Tank, thank you for raiding. I guess that's a sign that we keep going for a fair little chunk longer. Thanks, champion. Guten Abend. Guten Morgen for me. Raid. Thanks, Dalmal Käfer. Greetings from Germany. Welcome. Guten Morgen. Dankeschön for joining my stream today. Everyone who's just joined, thank you. I paint little toy soldiers, as I'm sure many of you do as well. I don't do it tremendously well, but we try hard. Yes, it is indeed. Including me. Space Wolves, excellent. I was one of the armies in 40k that I actually played a fair bit of. Didn't play an awful lot of 40k back in the day. A long time ago now. Like 2004. That was the last time I played 40k. It was 3rd edition. What edition are they up to now on 40k? Is it 8th? Well, I played 3rd. Thanks, mate, for the follow. Friends that just joined, I'm just going to do this again. This is a video of what I've done. Something else that I've done this year. Everyone's sick of seeing it, but I don't care because I like it. That's probably not a bad idea, Top. Cut it all together. Just diorama after diorama. Is that a lot of snow? I'm not really familiar with snow, mate. If it ever snowed in Brisbane, it would be the end of times. Right. It does sound like a lot. Wow. So we will just use a little bit of this magenta, and I'm going to go into pink. For the black on her leg. What are we going to do about her face? More specifically, her eyes. Not sure yet. So I'm using purple here, magenta, rather, to highlight this thing. I don't know, we're not really trying for a sheer cloth effect, but something along those lines, I guess. Won't be too bad. That's quite dark, you can't really see on the screen because I haven't turned up the exposure properly, but it is going to remain quite dark. Yeah, actually, the thing that's concerning me now is the head piece. I did. I can do sheer effects. I'm not interested in doing it on this. Don't think that it will add anything to to the piece. There's already a lot going on. We just need something simple, I think. It's actually surprisingly an easy technique to do the sheer stuff. Well, I found it surprisingly easy. But I have a lot of experience, so mechanically it wasn't difficult. The wings, the wings, the wings. It's going to be the trickiest part. That's an absolute lie. It's going to be a piece of cake. We're going to use contrast paints and some fucking dry brushing, and it's going to be done. Beautiful. You think I'm joking? I'm dead serious about that. That is happening. Dry brush, baby. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do before I close up stream, I'm going to grab my airbrush. I'm going to do a bit of subtle blue from below. Very subtle. I just want to hint this a little bit that way. Because the base. Well, when you put it on the base, it'll make sense when you see it on the base. Alright, yeah, I think that's probably okay. I might just need a little bit more here so we can actually catch some of the blue. I'm probably over highlighting this area over what it needs to be, because when I do a little bit of blue through the airbrush, it is going to tone that area down. $2. Thanks, buddy. Not necessary, but appreciated. Are we on for a little streamy paint this afternoon, or what? Is that happening? Are we doing a little paint this afternoon, or is that not happening? Cool. Balzia, it is a cool model to paint. But it isn't an easy one. Buddy, hey, come here. Say hi to Uncle $2. Hi, Uncle $2. I miss you. Hey, can I bite you? Oh, that's a nice cuddle, buddy. Can I bite your ear? All right, let's put the two together. We'll just put the two elements together and see how we feel. Get in. Ah, yes, significantly better. All right, so I like a lot of aspects of this so far. We need to probably we need this helmet piece needs work. Hey, bud. And we need to figure that out. The wing color is a challenge now. I was initially planning on going for a dark colour, but I feel like we may be better doing a white, like a brown into white, because what will happen if we do that is that'll make the blue glow look better. Yeah, creamy colour. Okay, well, I don't know that I'm going to do. Don't know that I'm going to do too much more to the base now that I think of it. So I'll probably call the base a bit of a day, actually. Because I don't think that's going to add anything doing any more to the base. So. Yep, call it a day on the base. Cool. Turn down for what? Yep, so that just leaves us with trying to figure out what we're going to do about the face area, eyes, the little ruby thing in her chest, and then the wings. And that will be tomorrow night's Party Monday, or maybe this afternoon's, and I'll start the goblin. Who knows? Friends, it's been a privilege to spend this morning with you. Let's go and have a look. Cokey and I are going to play a game this afternoon. Fucking beauty. Alright. Oh, this is this thing. No, we don't want that. We want this. Haha. So this is riveting television, Deno. What are you doing? Browse. Search. Miniature figures. Let's find someone we can raid. Who we got on tonight? Dr. Faust. Lichguard, Impending Duff. I don't think I've raided him before. Let's have a look at what he's doing. Maiden's Minis. That's an interesting looking figure. Airbrushing happy little model trees. Jabbanova. Good Jesse. What's this guy doing? Kit Checker. G'day Kit Checker. Thank you for the raid. You've timed it to perfection as I'm about to raid someone myself. So we'll raid on. Good evening. But this is what I was painting. Oogly. G'day mate. This is what I was painting on today's stream. This and this and the two bits go together. But we shall be raiding on with someone else now, but I appreciate the raid, and everyone that is on my stream right now should follow Kit Checker. I am indeed, yes, sorry mate, just finding someone to raid. Speak more Canadian. I'll do my best. Hey. Thanks Avocado Kids, what a champion. Yes, I apologise. We are going to raid someone else. I like raiding people with not many people at the time. Iron Ant, I think he's an Australian, so we'll have a look at him. So what do we got going on here? Good Jesse. What are you doing, Good Jesse? Bit of dry brushing.
Maybe you blocked that part out.
He's a specimen. That's a bad photo though, Jesse. What are you doing there, mate? I like the cut of Jesse's jib. Let's go raid good Jesse. He's only got 87 followers. Let's see if we can turn that around for him, friends. See if we can get him to crack to 100 right now. 13.
Dude, it slowly sounds like Ninja Turtles, but I don't think it is.
Let's do it. 13 follows. Let's go. Friends, it's been a pleasure. I look forward. I'm back tomorrow night for me. Party Monday. It should be a ripping good time.
The saxophone
Let's go,
guy's
friends.
gonna have like a huge comeback just because of this broadcast. We're setting off a butterfly effect right now. Ah. Let the avocado kids. Big Dino. Ugly. Is that right? Hey, hello. Thank you for yelling. Oh, it's a raid. Well, thanks for following because, you know.
People can get a cheeseburger anywhere, okay? They come to tchotchkes for the atmosphere and the attitude. Okay, that's what the flair's about. It's about fun.
I hope you guys are ready for non-stop action because that's what the flair's about. It's about fun. So what we're saying, we're talking about saxophone guy.